Assalamu alaikum everyone. Peace be upon you all. Today I will be talking about roots versus tradition. Now, what comes to our mind when we think about roots or being rooted? We automatically think about our history or our tradition, but there's a fine line between our actual roots and our tradition. There's no good or bad here. It's just a way to know the difference so that you can have clarity and you can learn to move beyond herd mentality. Because since we are born, we are conditioned to think from the worldview or the perspective of the masses, and we simply accept that and we start believing in things, and we don't actually have the knowledge, we haven't realized it or experienced it, but we just start repeating empty words and start performing rituals, and it becomes a part of our identity. And very few people are fortunate enough to uh, question themselves and break those idols, and they unlearn and empty themselves, and then only they are able to move forward on the path of self realization. So when it comes to tradition, it's obvious that we are talking about our past, our culture, you know our history, and uh, what sect or race you belong to. All these things come up, they become a part of that, and it has its own significance. It's important to know where you are coming from. But when we move beyond all those superficial things, uh, you start entering the unseen, the unknown, ghaib, the mystical dimension. Um, to know your inner self, you have to be detached from those ideas, and only then you will be able to understand who you are, right? And the interesting thing is that on this path, you you don't simply press a button and you suddenly yourself realized. It's an ongoing journey, like a snake sheds his skin, and he keeps moving until he dies. He's constantly shedding his skin from time to time, and he keeps moving on. He doesn't stick in that in that costume, that shell, whatever word you want to use for it. So the same way a mystic or a seeker, such as myself, who are internally, we are like nomads, or we feel like a misfit in this society. um, we uh, don't understand rules, and there's nothing wrong with the 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 physical aspect. I mean, it's good to discipline and understand things from the um, physical aspect, uh, but the main thing is to remain fixated on who you are, because it's very easy to get trapped in this chaotic noise, this whole um, this three-dimensional world, this consciousness that we live in, and because we have accepted that, we have become enslaved to it, and I am including myself. So coming back to roots, what I have understood so far in my life, uh, that your roots, or the true land you belong to, is within, right? And many poets, is the right word, poets have spoken about it in their poetry, such as Kabir, or Guru Nanak, or Bulleh Shah, and all these people. They were true seekers. They were not only a true seeker is a devotee, right? And they because they took the road less traveled. They did not think about what the world expects from them, and something natural. You cannot force somebody. If I am imposing my views on somebody, it's the same as some extremist trying to indoctrinate somebody. So uh, this is uh, this is something that you cannot force somebody to realize. It's something that happens to you. It's like falling in love, and it remains a mystery what lies ahead in your life. But it's very important to understand that the reason why we live in fear and insecurity, and we constantly think about the future, is because we think that this life is the only life we are going to live. No, it's not. The universe has always been there, and since the universe has been there, you have been a part of that, and you're simply conscious of yourself through this body. And yeah, so one one needs to uh, understand that everything you see outside is a manifestation of our self, spirit, whatever word you want to use. It has no name or form in reality, but it manifests itself to be known. And same way, we as individuals, as human souls, we want to be seen and heard and loved and all that. Um, so yeah, we are not judging anybody here. We are not trying to convert anyone. It's something that uh, very few people, I feel, resonate with this message, this uh, frequency, this thought, you know. So coming back to differentiating between roots, or being rooted, and tradition. So yeah, I mean, we see in our society, in the world, that people are following a certain tradition. They keep repeating, that uh, those rituals and different um, traditions from time to time. and the culture is evolving, it's changing, right? Uh, we are moving away from because we are no longer rooted. Uh, I'm sure there was a time when most humans who were close to nature and they were close to their nature, right? And slowly, from time to time, people started moving away from that. And maybe there's a reason behind it, because life must go on, but yeah, so now we are seeing these modern idols, computers and laptops, phones, and all kinds of gadgets. The internet era, the virtual era is here, and we are worshipping these multiple gods, these these objects we worship, and it's so common now that we don't realize that it's controlling us, and we are simply bowing towards it, um, and we are only fooling ourselves when we talk about religion or um, our country and my party and my this and my that, and it's all nonsense, right? I'm one of those people who feel confused. I'm not saying that I am rooted, but I intend to be rooted because I have seen the other side, and I have seen that the unseen gist of it at least, and I feel this sickness literally. It just gets inside of you and starts eating you up, and it's just like from this movie, The Matrix, where you see these viruses, these evil agents, whatever they are trying to hack into the the people who are trying to preserve the matrix, but I mean, it's interesting that I've seen it 20 times, but I always learn something new from the film. So yeah, the same way there are dark forces, no doubt. Uh, and when we talk about the Matrix, uh, yeah, it's the inter network, the universe, these codes, everything is made from codes and formulas, and what we see right now is only the front page. It's the result. Just like you see your reflection in the mirror, which is the past. So much happening between when the light reaches the mirror, and then it comes back to you, and then only you are able to perceive it. So you can't really measure that. So anyways, I hope I'm making sense that your roots, um, I mean, it's natural that when one embarks on this journey, you are automatically drawn towards your tradition. You want to know your history, your roots, but the true roots is uh, are, uh, are inside of us, right? And it's it's beyond yourself, this false self, this imposter, and it's very important to um, understand that. So when you are not attached to your your rituals and your your past or history and all those things, um, you don't feel threatened if if somebody's if, if somebody tries to dishonor your faith or religion or whatever, because faith is beyond all these things. You see, that's not faith. If I am simply holding on to rituals, uh, and I'm attached to all those things, that becomes idol worship in itself. Because what is idol worship? It's meaningless. Worshipping something meaningless. Anything other than God or truth is meaningless in true sense. When we talk about beauty or meaning, it's all derives from the origin, the source. Uh, so of course, a person who is seeing things from the worldview or the mainstream consciousness will think this is blasphemous or it's crazy. But like they say, one person's craziness is another person's reality. So we all exist in our own reality. I am in a completely different consciousness compared to yours, and that's completely all right. It's natural. And we can't expect a utopian world, but at least we can try to appreciate each other and accept one another, listen to each other. So, yeah, um, there's so much I can talk about, but I feel that I will leave it for the next video. I hope you enjoyed it and do give your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends if you feel resonated. Thank you.